Welcome back, nieces and nephews, everything in between and or otherwise. I am Sunburn, and this is Analysis Time, where I talk about Adventure Time way too much for way too long. Today we're going to be analyzing the episode Prisoners of Love, our debut of the Ice King. Finn and Jake are hanging out in the Ice Kingdom when they run into Ice King, who freezes them and locks them up in his cage in his apartment. And they find out that Ice King has locked up a bunch of princesses in there with them. So Finn and Jake need to find a way to escape and free the princesses, and hijinks ensue. Alright, what are we looking at? So again, they're keeping up with this torn paper style. Also, the borders are really thick here. I don't think they keep that up with the later title cards, but it's very prevalent here. And again, like I mentioned in the last video, it must be the same artist they got doing this. These title cards, because again it has that kind of clay glossy sheen to it, so you know, consistency I guess. But from what I remember about this episode, it's Ice King kidnaps a bunch of princesses and Finn and Jake come to bust them out, if I remember correctly. Though Finn, I don't think he shows interest in no, there is a joke in the episode, I remember now, that at the end Slime Princess is like, OMG, I love you, Finn, which Finn is 12 first of all, but then Finn's like, Jake, help me out. And he's like, oh, Slime Princess, you don't like Finn. He still wets the bed. He's like, oh my god, put me down or something. But obviously, this right here didn't happen with Finn being like infatuated and blushing with Slime Princess. But this might be how Ice King interpreted it. As he's super sad, it seems like Finn is, like crushing in on what he's got going on with Slime Princess through his like crazy wizard brain. This is how he's interpreted it, which is obviously not how it goes down. But right off the bat, without you even realizing it, it's already establishing that this is what Ice King's like. He's not like right in the head for a multitude of reasons, and he misinterprets things as other things, especially when it comes to relationships, and especially with the princesses very early on. Early on, Ice King, he loves kidnapping princesses. He loves especially Princess Bubblegum. And we see later that Ice King like genuinely believes him and Princess Bubblegum are in some type of romantic relationship, which obviously is not the case. But even with platonic relationships, like with Finn and Jake, Ice King views, maybe not early on as this, but at a certain point, Ice King starts to view Finn and Jake as his friends, his best friends, and that he thinks that they're his best friends too. They think of him the same way that he thinks of them, which is not the case. And it's cool to see like that's already, intentional or not, that's already being laid out with this title card. Let's start the episode. So, I mean, already, you guys know the drill. I love pausing the episode as soon as it starts to point shit out. This is the third episode in, and we see Finn in his long sleeve shirt, which he wears every now and again when it's cold. And I love to see that. I love when characters have outfits for specific things. Like, early in The Simpsons, I've seen this Twitter account that goes through that kind of thing. Homer had this green going out jacket. And that's the jacket he would wear when he was going out to do whatever on the town. And that was always a cool little character thing. Like, this character has this thing assigned for this activity. And it's cute to see that Finn has that too. I love when cartoon characters wear different outfits, especially when they're specific to certain things. Very nice. I like that. And I like seeing Finn wear different things. Also, they're sledding on this chair, kind of playing into that post-apocalyptic thing again. Like, there isn't anywhere to like go to buy proper things, so you just kind of use the junk that you have. Which later on in Ooh, we figure out that, or it's revealed, or it's developed throughout the series that Ooh is much more like economically established. Like, there are markets, there are vendors, there are that kind of thing. So, something to think about. Maybe Finn and Jake just found this and they just did it and it's just fun. Maybe those vendors weren't around at this time, or maybe they just didn't think to write those things for the show at that point, but who knows. And one last thing before I unpause. Oh, look at this. This golem has like nice kind of lighting. That's cool. You probably need that to differentiate him from the background other than just having this line. But this is our first look at a snow golem in Adventure Time, which obviously they had that episode later with the snow golem and the like fire wolf. I forget the like specific name of the wolf, but that golem gets his own episode later on, and that's very cool that they like established that here like so early on that this is the Ice Kingdom. There are ice creatures, but I wonder way later on around the Elements miniseries, a little before that, we learned that the elementals, the 4 of them, they're reincarnated every so often, and they're all at the same time. And we learned that in the land of Oo, the current elementals are Flame Princess, Princess Bubblegum, and the Slime Princess. And those are the elementals. There are other elemental creatures, but they're like the core creatures that we see when that gets like later on shown. But we learned that you would assume Ice King is the other elemental, like official elemental for the ice element. But we know that's not the case. We know that Patience St. Pym is the official ice elemental. And she was back in the day, and then when the mushroom bomb hit and it killed the other elementals, she had cryogenically frozen herself. So the official elemental did not get reincarnated. And Ice King kind of took the place of that, but he's not an official elemental. So I wonder, like, just a really roundabout way to get to my point is Ice King can create like life, like the snow golems, and we see him do that a few times throughout the show. It's one of his abilities, is that he can breathe life into snow and ice and that kind of thing. But that makes me wonder, like, every single ice creature, was that done by Ice King himself? Like, did he specifically make every single one of these guys, even the ones that are out in the wild, like this guy or the guy from the like standalone episode later? Did Ice King make this guy, or is it kind of like the Fire Kingdom and the Slime Kingdom? Not the Candy Kingdom though, because PB specifically created almost every single candy elemental person besides herself. But with the Slime Kingdom and the Flame Kingdom, we know that they have their like core elemental leaders, and they also just have people that are elementals, but they did not create them. Like the core elementals did not create these like elemental people. And so I wonder if snow golems and things like that, they just spawn in naturally, because that's just how elementals work. They come and go between magical and technological every 1,000 years or whatever, with the Catalyst Comet, blah blah blah, lore. Is this just a naturally spawning snow golem, or did Ice King make him? Holy shit, that was such a roundabout way to ask that question, but I wanted to lay out all the information, so sorry. How far are we into this episode? Fucking 4 seconds? Jesus. And look at that. I don't know how much I should point out, but like Finn and Jake knocked the head off this snow golem, taking the coal eyes with it, but then it just makes itself another head. Is that just like an inherent ability of like ice elementals? Can they just do that? Kind of like how the flame citizens can like make themselves bigger, they can pop themselves up, that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm done questioning the ice logic.
Sled's broken.
I think it's so funny that Finn calls it a sled, even though it's clearly like a chair, but he was using it as a sled, so whatever.
What are you doing, Jake?
Something about the way Jake looks here is very early seasons. I can't put my finger on it, but the way like Jake's eyes and jowls look when he makes himself bigger like this, it has a very early season look to it. They like change him a little bit to where like when he gets bigger, he doesn't quite look like this anymore, and I don't know how they change it. It's very subtle, but it's obviously noticeable because I'm noticing it, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I'll try to find reference images while I'm talking about this to put up from the later seasons, but I don't know, it's very strange. This guy, this ice, what's it called? Ice Clops. I think that's what it's called. He has trees growing out of him, implying that this guy's actually huge, or these trees are tiny. But it reminds me of the Cyclops that Finn like steals the eye from in the episode Another Way, I think it's called. But that one was big too, but it was like a grass golem or like an earth golem or whatever. It wasn't snow, but I keep saying golem, I mean Cyclops. But it was big. It had like stuff growing off of it, and it had the one eye. So I wonder if that's another like different elemental type creature. Same creature, different like typing though, like Pokemon. Like the evolutions, more like. Switch. Hold on, what was that in that tree right there? Cute little squirrel. Oh, look at that. We had a skull in the ground. Post-apocalyptic. This looks a lot like the skull in the intro.
Penguin!
There are so many skulls. There's skulls and bones here. Probably trying to show that they're going into like dangerous territory. This is a 3D background, or not a 3D background, but it's like there's a cylinder, and this is coming from someone who has never done any kind of art. What it seems to be, the way they move through it, yeah, it seems like a 3D cylinder, and they like put this texture over it, and then in a few places they they drew on top these spikes coming out to give it some depth. You can see where they just kind of like, what's it called, blended it in. It doesn't look bad though, not by any means. Do the Gunthers usually have feet? It looks like they're missing feet here, every single one of them. Though they do draw the reflection for everything. That is very commendable. They like hand draw that, it looks like. It's not like, you know, because it's obviously not perfectly lined up. And these are 2D drawings. You wouldn't be able to like just map them over easy like that. But a lot of work for this like quick shot. Well, wait, what is Ice King doing? Oh, and he's burying a frog. Finn and Jake are seeming to they're interrupting this like frog burial. Hold on, I went ahead a little bit. Yeah, he's digging a hole. It seems like he brought this dead frog out in this wheelbarrow and he's digging a hole for it for a burial. Is he putting this? Yeah, and Finn and Jake just come in. You can see the frog in there. It's got the X's. Ice King had a pet frog, and I guess a pet frog, and Finn and Jake just come and blow the spot up. Wow, that's so funny. My headphones are too loose. I gotta tighten them.
Aw, Ice King's here.
You know why I'm here?
So, introduction of Ice King. He sounds like a little bit weird early on, but pretty much the same. They clearly knew what they wanted him to sound like. It just needed like a very small tweaking, but they pretty much have it exactly how it sounds throughout the entire series. He sounds a bit more menacing, like he's a villain, which like everyone knows. If you're an Adventure Time fan, like Ice King is like the lowest tier of like villainy. He's basically just an old guy with powers. Also, it's funny, like Finn immediately is like, oh, Ice King's here. It's like, because even Finn at this point knows, like, Ice King ain't shit. You know, he's just the old guy who lives in the mountains.
You know why I'm here?
I've always, sorry, I keep pausing, but you know, this is the show. I've always found it very interesting that they refer to this area as the Ice Kingdom. I mean, obviously, I guess they would. You know, it's Ice King. He's the Ice King. He lives in this area, and there are beings, but there's no like Ice King's castle, if you want to call it that. His apartment is the only like established infrastructure. You know, like with the Fire Kingdom or Flame Kingdom, they call it both, and the Slime Kingdom, obviously the Candy Kingdom. They all have like very established like buildings and areas and parks. And like, you know, they're the rulers of their domains and stuff. But Ice King, he kind of only he has like pet penguins, and sometimes he makes really shitty minions that never do much, and there's nothing else there. There's just the mountains and where Ice King lives. And so I've always found it weird that they call it the kingdom, but like, what else would they call it?
Do you know what Ice King means?
A big nerd.
Oh, holy cow.
Holy cow.
It means I'm king of ice. This is my domain, and you're violating ice world law.
Okay, so they kind of go into it. I didn't realize. I haven't watched this episode in a long time. So it's not that he's the king of the Ice Kingdom. It's just that he's the king of ice. So interesting. All ice is like Ice King's domain, he puts it, which is obviously just something he came up with himself. Like there's no actual authority in that. This isn't truly his domain. It's just where he lives. I don't know. Ice King's a silly guy.
And you're violating ice world law.
Ice world law is definitely not a thing. This is definitely just something he made up, because the only like real ice person who lives in the Ice Kingdom is Ice King. Somehow Ice King is the most like lucid person in the Ice Kingdom, because the golems and the penguin, I mean probably Gunther or Galorg really, because everyone else who lives in the Ice Kingdom are just kind of like little guys, you know.
Come on, brother, we're just trying to beat the heat.
There's a big sleepy lava man in our front yard. He is so hot. I mean, not like sexy hot.
You do mean sexy hot.
No, I mean, I don't care.
That's such a good line from Ice King. Again with this sexy stuff. Adventure Time was the first show, and probably the only show I watched as a kid where it's like, oh, we're gonna say sexy and stuff. Regular show said like pissed a couple times, and they had just more like risque joke. But Adventure Time just casually using the word sexy, it always threw me off. I was like, you can't say that. This is a kid show. Even as a kid, I knew like that's not allowed. This isn't freaking HBO. And then I started thinking like, oh well, what does sexy really mean? I know what sex is. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you know what sex is, because this, you know, despite talking about this kid show, this is not a show for kids. If you don't know what sex is, stop watching this video. You're not old enough. But like, so sexy, root word sex, and sex is like a very It's like erotic. And so is sexy mean erotic? Not necessarily. But the way that the show uses it is more like attractive, like when they say sexy or like sultry, that kind of thing. And as a kid, I couldn't, verbalize these thoughts, but like I could vibe out that thought process, And so I got kind of used to them using the word. I was like, they're using it, but like it's not like bad. But I would still get scared my mom was gonna walk in while I was watching it.
This is my kingdom. I've got rules here.
I just want to point this out because I keep noticing it. Ice King's teeth are throwing me off. Also, I don't think Ice King keeps these sharp teeth throughout the show. But yeah, look, right here, there should definitely be another tooth. You can see that earlier with Ice King. He's got really spaced out teeth, but right here, there should definitely be a tooth.
Why don't you just try being cool?
What? I am the king. I am the king.
Oh, I just noticed, like, when it's from the perspective of inside this, like, ice cavern, Ice King's voice has kind of like a reverb off of the ice you can hear.
No, I don't care.
Finn, too, and Jake.
This is my kingdom. You guys can't just...
You hear it? So let me go back to outside.
What? I am the king. I am the king of...
So it sounds normal there. It's a cool detail.
Rise, monsters of snow, and go! Beat up Finn and Jake!
Uh-oh.
Ice King's like powers are yellow, first of all, which is kind of strange. They're usually blue, but also they have like this electronic sound. Give that a listen.
Rise, monsters of... Oh, beat up Finn and Jake!
It's weird. Also, it's so funny that Ice King's like, go beat them up. Because usually with villains, it's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to send my minions out to kill you. But Ice King's such a dork. He doesn't even think to kill them. He's just like, go beat them up. He does the same thing with Scorcher later. But they've like established like kind of a relationship at that point. But it's pretty funny.
Uh-oh.
I love the music. They do music throughout the whole show, obviously. But like early on, to keep that like fun, like kind of quirky, upbeat kind of thing, they would use a lot of like chip tunes. Like it would sound like early video game music. I think it works perfectly for this. I was like really well animated. Like crashes in, splashes up, comes down, swoops in. Man, these like snow guys look really good with the lighting and the shapes and everything. Wow.
You guys are gonna get it.
Yeah, right, sure.
I don't think Jake's supposed to be standing on top of this. I think this is a layering thing. Or maybe he is supposed to be. Maybe they had him behind it and they thought it looked weird, so they propped him up on top of this to make up for like this height thing, so they could be standing next to each other. I don't know. Good thing he had that wheelbarrow. I wonder if you finished burying that frog, because Finn and Jake kind of dug the hole for him.
I'm back home. Hello, ladies.
Back. Oh my god, he's back. Oh my god.
You can hear LSP going, did she say, oh my god?
Back. Oh my god, he's back.
She says, oh my god, he's back. Wow, that's funny. That's not even what I was going to point out. You can hear LSP talking, but if you watch her mouth, she's not like moving her mouth at all.
Oh my god, he's back. Oh my god.
Now,
See?
I brought you a baby and a puppy.
So funny that he refers to them as that at all. But, I mean, kind of, for Ice King, who is over 1,000 years old at this point, Finn is kind of a baby. He's fucking 12 years old. Comparatively to Ice King, yeah, he's like a newborn or something. But to call Jake a puppy is so funny. Jake, who's like a 30-year-old man, even at this point, is the puppy. So funny. So we see like a lot of new princesses here. We have Ghost Princess, fucking Emerald Princess, Wildberry Princess, Slime Princess, Hot Dog Princess, Raggedy Princess, and Lumpy Space Princess. A lot of these guys are new in this episode. We haven't seen a lot of these guys, but Hot Dog Princess was actually in the last episode. And I think Raggedy Princess might have been. I could be wrong, but Hot Dog Princess definitely was. But these two are new. This one never gets any screen time. I don't even remember her name, but I remember they steal her jewel in the Lich episode. Everyone here gets their own episode. Hot Dog Princess, they have the maze. Slime Princess, they have like the Blargatha thing. Raggedy Princess doesn't really get an episode, but she has like prominent roles in some episodes, like that James Baxter episode, and she makes Finn a new bag after he gets his ripped up. I remember that. LSP, obviously. Wildberry Princess has Meow, and Ghost Princess has that episode where she's like in love with Benson, whose life is like a fart.
My life is like a fart. My life is like a fart! My life is like a fart. My life is like a fart!
This one, though, I don't know if she ever even gets speaking lines, but they do steal her gem, so that's like the most relevant thing she gets. I like Raggedy Princess. She's one of my favorite princesses. One last thing about Raggedy Princess. I always found it so... I just put... Holy shit. I just got this. Raggedy Princess's crown is this shard of glass. I never got that. I never got that, dude. Everybody else has like a crown or something to represent the royalty, and I always thought that Raggedy Princess just had this shard of glass in her head. But that's her fucking crown. I never put that together. Oh my god. It's even kind of like tiara shaped, kind of. It has like the 2 points on the end and then the like point at the top. Like this and like this and like this. How did I never get that? Oh my god.
Are you okay? Huh? Wildberry Princess? Hot Dog Princess?
We're all prisoners, Finn.
Ice King!
Prisoners of love.
Why are you keeping these girls prisoners, jerk?
You don't understand. I collect princesses because I want to marry one.
Well, why'd you capture 6 of them?
But I've always loved that everyone's just cool with Jake, to where he can just casually hug up on the princesses. No one even bats an eye or notices. There is an episode later, I think, Burning Low. It's the episode where Finn meets Flame Princess, and the way that episode starts off is that PB, who was really fucking tall in that episode, has like the fireworks, and then Jake is like laying on her lap, and she says something like good doggy or something, and then Finn sees that and he goes to go lay with her, and it's awkward. Jake just has that inherent like chillness about him where like you can just go, Jake can just touch up on you and you won't feel anything weird about it because he's just a cool guy. There's no like ill intent. Like everyone recognizes that. I'm saying a lot about nothing.
Well, why'd you capture 6 of them if you just want to marry one?
You're both too young to understand, but marriage is a serious thing and lasts forever.
It's funny he says that to Jake specifically, who is, I think, the one character in the entire show who is consistently like in love with the person he's with. He's basically married to Lady Rainicorn, so much so that later on Finn thought they were married, but they're not.
여보세요?
Hey, lady, listen. Your husband got abducted by Keoth the demon.
누구? Jake?
Yeah, your hubby, your boyfriend or whatever.
My name is Jake, and I love my life. Kissing on lady, cause she's basically my wife.
But yeah, Jake has the healthiest relationship in the entire show. Like he doesn't even need to worry about it. Just interesting.
Just let the girls go.
Can Ghost Princess not just phase through the walls? I'm pretty sure she has like phasing abilities as just a ghost. But she is like such a like kind of like pushover character, like weak-willed or whatever, that she might just not have the confidence to do it. Or maybe she just doesn't want to leave the other princesses with Ice King. Team player otherwise.
Of course they do. I would have killed them already if they didn't want to be here.
Lie, bro. Ice King is not like that, dude. He's not killing nobody, especially not a lady.
Right, ladies?
Oh, look, his powers were blue here, even though they were yellow earlier in the episode. Though he is just like producing ice, I guess. Earlier he was like breathing life into these minions, so maybe that's the difference.
Each and every one of you. And furthermore,
Ice King has just underwear on the floor, one of his moo-moos, and just like 2-3 boxes of pizza just laying on his bed. I love Ice King.
thing y'all want to be married to. Yay.
Snail. Wow, this is a very blatant snail. It's fucking... the snail is huge right here.
Binoculars, toothbrush, water bottle, rope, sweater, trail mix, my flute.
Finn's classic flute, which he keeps up throughout the entire series. And at some point, he just gets really good at the flute. I think he's like bad at the flute right now. He's actually really good at the flute right now. There's an episode where they explain why Finn's all of a sudden good at the flute, which is pretty funny because our first like shot with him with the flute is he's already great.
Is this why all of a sudden one day I was way better at the flute?
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
Also, this flute design is just very funny. It's being held together with like just tape, and there's a stick sticking out of it. Really funny. And then it falls apart. He needs more tape for it. Ice King's classic drum set, which he's actually pretty decent with. His arms go through his beard to do this.
I'll get us out with Keyhand.
You can see like Jake morph it into Keyhand. He like does the OK sign and then it slips into it. His like different fingers slip into being the different parts. That's a good morph. Good morph. Can you tell I watched the Ben 10 breakdowns? Oh, Jake is like making a serious face right here. I might use this for the thumbnail.
Oh, no, you won't.
I'm okay.
Ice King!
I like when they do this red face effect for when someone's angry. Ice King needs to be busting that out like every single time. He gets his ass beat by these two little kids way too often. I've already been recording for 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Jesus Christ.
Better either set us free or...
I like this effect too for the eyes, how they're like, to give the effect that they're wobbling, they just draw a few different pupils.
Well, excuse me, because I have to go potty in the bathroom.
Ice King's workout set. He has a ripped dude in a bikini and like a 1997 tennis poster.
I'm fine, buddy. Calm down.
I feel like Jake could just like stretch his face out of here and then make like a new body, just have like part of him be stuck in there, or he could like make a new body and just like kind of bust himself out, but whatever.
Slime Princess, are you alright?
He's held us here for weeks, questioning us about our favorite sport.
Weeks? Whoa, what did I just hit? So let's say these are days. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 2, 3. Wow, almost a month.
And quirky behavior. I tried to tell him as little as possible. I understand.
She's like holding this information that is like completely useless. And Finn takes it so seriously. I understand, Princess.
Space Princess, how do you fare?
I'm bored. I'm not having any.
Not having any fun? Last night I read you the
Baby Woozlefoot and the Woodle Bugs.
story of Baby What's It in the Bottle Prince.
Okay, that's not what it says at all. Maybe, yeah, he calls it Baby What's It and the Bottle Prince. That's not what it says at all. That's so funny.
That wasn't fun. That was lame.
Wow, LSP's voice is way off, dude. Even from the last episode where they introduced her. It's like super deep right here.
Watch, I'll show you. We'll have some fun.
Oh, this is cute. Oh, look, he has another frog. This probably isn't a real frog, but this one's a girl frog. You can tell by the bow. Girls wear bows. And he's got like a coaster taped to the keyboard to hold his mug and a little rainbow sticker. He has a sticky note with Princess Bubblegum drawn on it. That's Ice King. It's cool that Ice King is kind of like musically inclined. He has a drum set, he has his keyboard, and he has that like thing he brings over to, or is that Marceline's? Because when they sing the "I Remember You" song, he kind of gets into it. It's interesting to give Ice King that quality that he is kind of musically inclined, because I don't think we see any of that with Simon. Simon was just kind of a nerd, so that's something unique to Ice King. That's pretty cool.
Well, come here, I'll teach you.
This is that drawing of PB again. Oh, it's in like the same place where it would have been at the other angle, and it's at the same angle. That's cool. And there's a band-aid here and a drawing of like, I don't know, a tree in a field.
And
Leave her alone, Ice King!
squish you in the juice. Yeah, now everyone pick up an instrument and play it.
The letters on this drum set have like this yellow outline to them. They look kind of weird. But yeah, Ice King's pretty good on the drums. He seems to have a handle on his instruments. Oh, look at this. This is like a mouth and this is like a nose. I never noticed that. He doesn't have a lot of furniture in his place.
It's so fun.
Why would he? Maybe he's not that good on the drums. I don't know anything about music. I'm gonna send this clip over to my friend Damion and see what he thinks. I'm gonna put the footage up of what he says right here. Thanks, Damion. Hot Dog Princess doesn't have an instrument. She's just like stomping her foot on the ground. I love this face Finn is doing.
I've almost devised a plan. I'm gonna let.
I like this. I like how the sleeves look pretty thick on Finn, especially right here and a little bit right here. It's a nice little thing. And down here, like it's like a bigger shirt, because usually Finn's shirt is just kind of tight to his body. But this is cool. It gives it kind of like a bit of a weight and thickness. You can kind of tell. That's nice.
Well, I finalized the details in my mind.
What did he say?
I've almost devised a plan. I'm gonna let him drum. Well, I finalized the details in my mind.
But yeah, they draw this the symbol rippling when he hits it. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I love Ice King's stupid laugh. They do it less and less throughout the series, but I think it's so funny.
Oh, that was fun.
It's like perfectly annoying without being too much.
Oh, it was
I love these sound effects. The sound effects are so good.
fun. You should go get some more fun stuff.
You're right. Good idea, Finn. I hope they think I'm fun.
Oh, poor Ice King. So, like I was saying, when I broke down the title card, there are like very small crumbs you can eat in referring to like hints towards Ice King's true nature. So Ice King, he's a lonely, sad, like shell of his former self. At this point, he's so far gone that he just wants to be liked by people. And he thinks he's gonna find that through marrying a princess. Which he wants a princess because of like the Betty princess nickname thing. And like all of his thoughts are so diluted and so filtered through his insanity that he doesn't even really realize that what he wants is just friends, companionship. Because he's just so lonely. And they explore that more and more throughout the series, but it's so nice to see that. In his first appearance, they show just a little bit of it. But I don't think I would have even heard him say that if I didn't have my headphones on. So it's very small crumbs. Like I can see why this show became what it became. You know, like it started off, it was just a silly like weird guy fight the bad guy, kid and his dog kind of show. You know, like Monster of the Week type shit, adventures. But the seeds are there for fully developed characters. They just need that time to grow, and people notice those seeds, and they ask the creators like, please grow these seeds, and the creator's like, okay. And we got this show later where like Finn is trying to stop a war because he thinks violence is wrong and it's not going to stop anything, which is completely like separate from like early on Finn, who just loves fighting and slaying monsters and shit. Not that this is even about Finn, it's about like Simon.
Alright, I've got a plan for how to get out of here. First, everyone needs to be dancing and laughing and saying fun things like whoopee, okay? When the Ice King comes back, everyone play it up like he wanted to come inside the jail and party with us. And then when he steps inside, wham, I'm gonna beat the tar out of him with these. Well, you all take care of Jake. Everyone on board with this?
Look at Ghost Princess. Why is she so far away and like drawn with very few details? But yeah, like I was just saying, Finn's plan for Ice King is to trick him to come into the cell and then just beat the shit out of him. You know, very different from how he feels. They have like a line about that later.
Hey, this is kind of backwards, right?
How so?
I used to be all about violence. Now it's like, I'm different.
I think if everyone's saying whoopee, the plan won't work, because they'll know we're faking it.
Make way for the fun tray. Whoa, what's happening?
So, what's he got on this fun tray? Looks like a bunch of bullshit. So he's got like mush with some antennas, some wound up string, some little pyramids, 2 balls. Like what is this? More string and a little figure of him. This is his fun tray. This fucking guy, dude.
Whoa, what's happening?
So good, so good.
Because I left the room.
Because they like it here. Because they like you. Because you're a really fun guy.
I don't get this.
Stop fighting it. Dance harder.
Ghost Princess is just going like insane with the flips.
Wanna dance with Ice King? Come on!
Really? You want to dance with me? Okay.
That's funny. Finn suggests early on that they should say whoopee to show that they're having fun. And then LSP is like, that's not going to work. And then Ice King comes in and he actually starts having fun and says whoopee. That's so funny. Also, small continuity thing. It's nighttime now. At the beginning of the episode, it was like the middle of the day. So yeah, like it's the middle of the day when they're playing. And then once Ice King freezes them and hauls them up, it's sunset. And then by the time we get back to like the present where we were, it's nighttime. That's a good little bit of like consistency there with the time.
Why are you doing this? Everyone was finally warming up to me.
No, that is not the case.
That's such a funny line. That is not the case. That's something I think about a lot. That is not the case. He's like genuinely informing him that was not what was happening.
You're nuts, man. And I don't know how to help you. Probably because I'm just a simple dude. But maybe you should talk to someone with more life experience.
I don't even know how to like articulate how I feel about Adventure Time dialogue, but I love it so much. It is so like deliberate. Every line is like very much thought out to be like weird without, you know, like not making sense. You know what I mean? Like everything they say is like that's such weird phrasing, but it makes sense. And it's like weird to hear this like 12-year-old boy talk about like you need like genuine help with someone who has more life experience, but I can't help you with that. Like he's telling him like this real talk type shit while he's like beating him up. It's so funny. So good. Ah!
Maybe you should talk to someone with more life experience, like Jake.
Whoa, Finn, what are you doing? Don't dump the Ice King on me.
But you've got to get it in your head, man. Putting princesses in jail is wrong.
You will. Oh. For that, you will.
He hits bubbles out of him. When he punches him, he coughs up like these multicolored bubbles. What the hell?
Oh, my beard.
Oh, my beard.
Why?
Why do my headphones keep slipping off?
Why do people not like me? Is it because I'm a magic user? Or is my beard too shaggy? What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me? I've always loved that line.
You're a sociopath.
Who are you?
So this is the first time we ever see the Cosmic Owl, who is another major minor character who comes back a lot. So early on, the Cosmic Owl was just like, oh my god, it's the Cosmic Owl. It's an honor to see you. But later on, when we start to get more of Prismo, the Cosmic Owl just kind of becomes another character with a completely different voice actor, mind you. In this first episode, the Cosmic Owl is actually voiced by Jeremy Shada. Jeremy Shada. I'm gonna say Shada, which is not the case throughout the series, and you can totally hear it now that I'm listening for it. You can totally hear it. That's just Finn. Listen.
You're a sociopath.
It's so cute. You're a sociopath. They kind of give the Cosmic Owl a little bit of that country, I'm a country boy kind of thing, which they keep kind of throughout the show. When they do get another voice actor, he has kind of kind of a southern thing, but not as heavy as this. But it's cool to see those pieces were there. They didn't just throw away everything about the original Cosmic Owl's voice. But yeah, Cosmic Owl, pretty cool. I'm looking at the IMDb right now. Maria Bamford voices Wildberry Princess, Slime Princess, and Hot Dog Princess, who have very distinct voices. I never realized that. I've always loved Slime Princess's voice. It's a very thick and smooth, which kind of works with a Slime Princess. But that's interesting. I never realized that. And I think they all have the same voice actors throughout the entire show, so that's cool. Also, Ice King is voiced by Tom Kenny.
I know. You're probably,
My thing done glitched, y'all. I'm sorry. Ice King has a tattoo on his butt. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. My software is just glitching. I'll probably replace this footage with the actual footage. My bad, y'all.
Who are you? I know. You're probably a big nerd. And why don't you try being cool like me?
But I was gonna say, before it got cut out, when Ice King points, his finger is very wiggly when it points. I've always really liked that. There's no bones in there. It's very funny. Why don't you try being cool like me? Ice King, he's literally asking why people don't like him. And the Cosmic Owl, who would know, is literally this is why. And Ice King's no, you're an idiot, bro. You're not cool like me. You wouldn't get it. And then he flies off and he shows his naked body. We got fat Ice King in this first episode. Ice King is drawn inconsistently as either really fat or really skinny, depending on the episode. But I don't know if this was confirmed or if this is a headcanon, but people have said the reason for that is that because Ice King has an eating disorder, so he gains a lot of weight and he loses a lot of weight in a very unhealthy manner very often. So that explains the inconsistencies there. I'll see if that's true or not while I'm editing this, but that's something I've heard.
Thank you for saving us, Finn. And remember when you said you'd vow to marry us to the thing of our choosing?
Well, I'd like to marry you.
That's a child. Slime Princess needs to be locked the fuck up.
Jake, help me.
Oh, you shouldn't marry Finn. He pees his pants constantly, all the time.
Oh, gross. Put me down. Put me down. I'm sorry.
So there's that joke I was talking about while breaking down the title card. I forgot they did that. And there's the end. Alright, so what did I think? It was alright. I feel like I'm one of the Adventure Time fans who prefers the later stuff as opposed to the earlier stuff. And I know that there's kind of that divide in the fandom. I can appreciate the earlier stuff for, what it created. And they're very funny, I'll give them that. But I just prefer the later stuff. I don't know, I'm a dork. But this episode was a lot of fun. It mainly serves as a way to introduce Ice King and also a lot of princesses really easily. We get 5 more new princesses this episode. And we also get the introduction of the Cosmic Owl, who is a higher entity, a deity type character, and we get to see just a little bit of that in this episode. And the main point of the episode again is the Ice King, and we get to see a lot of the Ice King. We learn that he's a villain, he kidnaps princesses, but he is also sad and lonely and weird, which gives you everything you need to know about the Ice King and everything that you're going to want to wonder about for the Ice King that will be answered in time. He's a very interesting character, and I think this first episode did a great job showing that off without saying a lot. As for the other characters, they kind of took a back seat to Ice King, who kind of stole the show this episode. And now that I think about it more, I don't know, I like this episode. But I think I just like Ice King. I think everybody, at this point, everybody who knows Adventure Time just likes Ice King. Kind of like with Fiona and Cake, it almost felt like, at times, Fiona and Cake's story would take a backseat to Simon's story. It just felt a little bit more interesting at times. Because we never really got to spend much time with Simon in Adventure Time. So, with these characters, Fiona and Cake, who we are kind of already familiar with, but they are tweaked a bit for the show, it's like, alright, cool. But Simon's story, even the writers seem to know that it was just a bit more interesting. I don't know why I'm talking about Fiona and Cake. This is an episode of Adventure Time. I like the episode. I'm not going to do ratings because I just think that I don't have the right opinion for things. And I don't have even if I were to give something a rating, I wouldn't be able to articulate why I liked it a certain way or not. But I'll give it a, did I like it, did I not? Did I kind of like it, did I not? It's very all over the place. This was a fun episode, I'll give it that. Gonna have a Zelda video next week, and then the next week after that, we are going to be watching Tree Trunks, which obviously introduces the character Tree Trunks and her personality. And spoiler, I don't really care for Tree Trunks. But that's a discussion for next week. And with that, I've got nothing else to say. So, later!